On the agenda tonight, we're going back to 1987. We're going to be having a listen to the Pogues, and they're going to be performing Fairytale of New York. Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another video. So with this particular video, I have received some requests to take a look at Shane MacGowan following the sad news that he passed away recently. So we're going to be taking a look at this song, and one of those Christmas hits that, especially here in the UK, is really well known. In fact, it was voted as the UK's favourite Christmas hit, its most popular Christmas hit. So it's one of those songs, like a lot of Christmas songs, that always makes its way into the charts over Christmas, and this has been in the top 20 of the charts since 2005. So every year since then, I have isolated the vocals, run them through the pitch monitoring software so that at least we can see where they sit. But this song isn't really about that, and pitch accuracy is much more about telling a story. But we will jump into this, and then we'll have a look at the song. I will be jumping into it, so if you guys want to watch it the whole way through without me jumping into it, then there's a link in the description below as always. But let's get into it and have a listen.
It was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. An old man said to me, won't see another one. And then he sang a song, the rare old mountain tune. I turned my face away and dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 18 to 1. I've got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas, I love you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true.
They got cars big as bars, they got rivers of gold, but the window's right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome,
you were pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more. Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on the corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing, go away, babe. And the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
I'm just going to jump in here. There are a few things to mention about this song, but from a technical perspective, first of all, Shane couldn't play the piano, and the way that this video has been edited, and just for the overall look of the video, they decided that it would be a lot better if Shane was at the piano and looking like he was playing, but it was James Fernley, the pianist for the Pogues, who put on Shane's rings so that it looked like it was Shane's hands. And I know that James said that it was a bit humiliating doing that, having his hands, but then it not being him shown playing the piano. But certainly, I think he agreed that for the overall video and the story of the video and the song, it obviously worked well that way. There was a lot of confusion, especially here in the UK, or just not really confusion, but I know that the BBC and other radio stations here banned this song, or at least edited this song, so that the words that it included, because there are a few words that they decided people might find offensive, but I think they were treating this as a song being released that wasn't singers taking on characters, but the singers themselves. But this is the important thing, that this is a story and the singers are taking on the roles of characters. So the words that they're saying aren't a singer-songwriter telling them or telling you about their life and using words that you might find offensive. These are the characters using words, and the characters, their personalities are the reason that the words are used. So, I mean, I love it from that perspective because it's making something totally different out of a song. Like I said, it's almost like part of a theatre production where this song is just sung by two characters of that particular play. First of all, I mean, Shane, the way that he's singing this is so loose and so in character that you can imagine that, Shane's character is a little bit, worse for wear, has maybe had a little bit too much to drink. And then you've got the opposite from the female vocal, which is Kirsty MacColl, by the way. Her vocal is so stern and so in character. This is what's just great about it, that you get the dynamism in this relationship and you can really sense it through the song. And that's such a difficult thing to do. I mean, especially in a song where you're not given the visual representation of something that you would have on stage, and the fact that you know the story, you know the characters, you've had a lot of time to get to know them. But here, you just got a few minutes, 3 or 4 minutes to get to know these characters. A lot of the expression and the acting is going to affect the pitch, because if you're taking Shane's character, for example, just being a little bit worse for wear, when you are thinking about somebody who is now trying to sing, but they're, not in full control of everything because of the amount they might have had to drink, it wouldn't be perfectly on pitch. So this is what I mean, that the character's just spot on. And I know that certainly Shane in the real world and in real life was a person who did like to have a drink. So people will always draw that parallel, but in this particular story it's just exactly where it needs to be. The vocal isn't really accurate all the time, but we do have melody, and that's a really important point, because Shane is just ticking off the melody of the song, so that when you then sing it back or think of this song in your head, you do have a melody. It's not as if Shane's parts are totally lost, because we have na 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 na. There are notes that are definitely within the expression of the vocal. But I'll just have a quick listen to the beginning again. Na 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 na. Those are the notes that we are taking from that. And even when notes aren't hit really accurately, we can still decipher what the notes should be and where they should be because of the backing. We've got that reference point. So that na 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 na. I'm singing an octave too high, but you still get all of that na 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 na.
In the drunk tank.
So even there, good example, the B3, it's pretty much where it needs to be, and this is why we get the melody.
An old man said to me,
na 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 na. That na, D4, na na na, F sharp 3. So we do have pitch accuracy here. Kirsty's vocal here is just that perfect blend of sounding aggressive but being really accurate pitch-wise.
They got cars big as bars, they got rivers of gold, but the windows right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome,
you were pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more. Sinatra was swinging, all the junk they were singing. We kissed on the corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir.
I mean, throughout that whole section, if you're listening out for Shane's voice, you can now hear how accurate he is being in order to match with Kirsty's voice, because she is, hitting these notes right between the eyes, but they both are in that particular part. If they weren't matching each other, especially na 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 na, listen to it again, and the fact that they're both singing the same.
Love for more. Sinatra was swinging, all the drunk they were singing. We kissed on a corner, then danced through the night.
So that is just perfectly matched up. So we do have for that particular section, it's a lot more accurate pitch-wise from Shane, but just musically, melodically, that's just the way that it had to be. But let's take it back to where we left it, and we'll listen to it until the end.
You're a bum, you're a punk.
You're an old slut and junk lying there, almost dead on a dripping night bed.
You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, your arse, I pray God it's our loss.
The boys of the NYPD choir still singing Go Away Babe, and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. I could have been someone.
Well, so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you.
I kept them with me, babe. I put them with my own. Can't make it all alone. I built my dreams around you. The boys of the NYPD choir still singing Go Away Babe, and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day.
And there we have it. It's amazing as well how this was one of those songs that didn't come together straight away. Some do happen like that, where it can take 5 minutes or 15 minutes to write, but this is one that took a couple of years in order just to piece it together, but also rewrite different sections. And finally it came to this point where, and it's not always the case, that songs that take a long time to come along, you never quite get the formula, and people can be working on songs for years and then they finish it and it doesn't quite hit the chord, no pun intended, it doesn't quite hit the chord that they were intending, but this is just placed in exactly the right place emotionally, and the performance is the only thing that can achieve that. The two voices are so up front, it's almost like the instrumentation is a sideshow, because you're listening to the story of these two people and the way that they interact with each other. You can tell that this is a full-on relationship, but the fact that they obviously don't get on, but they do get on, but all of these potential regrets at the end of the song. Interesting as well that this goes against the grain really for every other Christmas song, because of that subject material of effectively having a couple and arguing with each other, but it's at Christmas time and it just happens to be one of these songs that, for us here, especially in the UK, just is played every Christmas and people love it. And obviously that change that we get from the verse then into the female vocal, where now we get this change in tempo, the energy comes in, we have that whole Irish sound of it that is so traditional, and instrumentally that sounds great, but it's always an appealing thing to me in that it isn't all about happiness and you know, all the other songs pretty much that you get at Christmas, which is just all happy celebration, whereas this is like a dose of reality at Christmas. So, I mean, it's great from that perspective as well. But thank you guys for requesting this particular song and video for me to take a look at. Following the sad news of Shane's passing, his voice is one of those synonymous with Christmas time here in the UK, and it forever will be. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this particular video, and I'll catch you guys at the next one.